Hello all, I trust that you have had a good week because I certainly have. You know, it's not every week or every day that my artwork accidentally ends up on the news. Yes, those are in fact my text portraits in that picture on that wall. So I'm a little bit excited about my life right now. I'm so thankful for the favor of God and how sometimes He just tosses these little blessings at you. You know, for a little while I was down and confused about my life and what direction it was headed or what I was supposed to do. I kept kind of thinking that things aren't gonna change until I had more money to make them change, for to put out ads on Facebook or Twitter or something, or TV, and you know, just to try to get my stuff out there. And I was frustrated because, you know, I was putting all this work into things and no one was paying attention, and I just kind of, you know, felt invisible on the interwebs. But then I started changing my confession and started claiming the favor of God over my life, and well, then this happened. You know, I didn't have to spend a bunch of money for my artwork to get exposure. I just received a text from my sister while she was at work. And now it's time to get into business. You know, a few months ago, when my birthday happened, I got a couple video games for my birthday, and one of those games was Skyrim. You know, I had heard a lot of good things about it, so I was kind of like, and if you have never played Skyrim, it's a fantasy game with elves and wizards and dragons and dungeons and trolls and orcs and giant spiders that try to freeze you and then suck out your innards. So the game opens up with you being driven in a carriage with some other prisoners to your execution, and you don't know why because you just entered this world. And people keep saying all these strange mythical terms like Nords and Stormcloaks and Hammerfell and a bunch of other nonsense. And literally, as your head is about to be chopped off, a dragon descends from the skies and just starts wrecking everything. You know, people are being eaten and smashed, and buildings are crumbling as you're running through them, and it's just so terrifying because it's stuck in first person, because I didn't know that you could change it to third person, because I just assume whatever perspective a game is in, that's just the way it's stuck, and so I was terrified. And so you're escaping through this city through these underground tunnels, and one of them it ends up in a torture chamber, and then the guy tries to kill you and you're just like, I don't know the buttons yet. And there are all these guards that are trying to stop you because you're an escaped prisoner, but you don't know the crime that you committed, and so they're trying to stab you in the face, and you're just trying to block, and you don't know buttons yet, and I think it's right trigger, right trigger, right trigger, And then there's the giant spiders, and then there's a bear cave, and the guard you're with that is helping you escape is like, here's this bow and arrow, do you want to try and take out the bear? And I'm just like, no! So eventually you escape the underground stuff and you follow the guy to his hometown, and then he's like, hey, thanks for helping me live. Why don't you go tell the Jarl, whatever the crap that is, that a dragon is coming this way, because, you know, somebody should tell him. And that's you, not me, because I have a family. And so I go meet the Jarl, and he's like, hey, you survived the dragon attack? You should help my soldiers kill this guy. Kill the dragon. I'm just like, I just got out of first person perspective. I don't know the rest of the button. And so I reluctantly go help them slay a dragon, and because I figured out that you could, you know, decrease the difficulty, and I put it all the way down. When I went to fight the dragon, I killed it. It was really easy. So I'm like, sweet, this is the game. You go around killing dragons, and then the dragon starts disintegrating, and then there's this giant wind that just comes through you, and then there are these people shouting, and then everyone's just like, you're dragonborn. And I'm just like, I don't know what that is, or where I am, or what's going on, but okay. And they're like, use your Thu'um, and I'm just like, I don't know what that is, and the game's like, press this button to equip it, and I'm just like, okay. And so I press a button, and then it just knocks this guy down, and they're like, you are dragonborn, and I'm like, I still don't know what that is, guys. So it turns out that you are actually dragonborn, and it means that you have the ability to speak in the dragon language and use the power of your voice to do stuff, magical stuff. So I've been enjoying the game, traveling in different underground cities and crypts and stuff, collecting gold and finding more stuff and killing stuff to get more gold because I want to buy a house in that town that Jarl was over. So I've been enjoying the game. You know, it's pretty cool. It's a lot different than the other games that I play, because usually it's like, hey, you gotta go from here to here and you have no choice. You can't go anywhere else. So it's weird having a game that is completely, just totally free, and the quests are optional, and just the game is what you want to make of it, and it's like, okay, I'm not used to this much freedom at all. So earlier today I was playing and I was up in the northern mountains, and I don't know what city it was. So I'm using my Thu'um to travel faster because video game characters are always too slow for me. And so it's a thing that needs to recharge. I don't know, it takes like 20, 15 seconds, I don't know. And so it's, I keep, you know, I'm going normal pace, and then you use your shout. I think it's wold. And so you go wold, and then you're just like, you know, like 20 meters ahead. So you know, you wait. Wold! Wait. Wold! And so as I'm doing this cycle, all of a sudden I get blasted with this ice wind ball force attack, and I'm just like, and then you see, you know, the wings flapping. You're like, oh, it's another dragon. Haha, I'm gonna get some new powers. And so it's just like staying up in the air, because the other one I fought, it came down really quick. It was like stab, 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 stab. This one's just like, you're not gonna get me. Nope. Ha ha ha. And so I got my bow and arrow, and I'm just like completely missing each time. And I hit it like twice, and then it like moves, and so I gotta rotate, try to find it again, and then, you know, it's just like this constant thing, and the arrows aren't doing anything. And so I dip the arrow in poison, and then the dragon's like, ugh, and then he lands, and he's like, like, I'm gonna eat you. And I'm just like, no. And so I'm like blasting it with fire and stabbing it in the face as it's trying to chomp me. It's just like, so eventually I do this enough times to its face with the fire and the stabbing, and then it dies. And so once again I absorb a dragon soul and obtain new wonderful powers through the use of my voice. And as entertaining as this explanation might have been for you, you might be wondering, what in the world does this have to do with scripture? Well, my dear fellow human, I'm gonna read you some scriptures now. Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. And it reads, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. We as people of God, you know, our words, they do, you know, affect the world that we live in. It might not be as obvious as, you know, a giant ice ball being flung from your mouth, but our words have power. You know, the things that we say and the things that we believe, they can affect our physical world. Just like when I started to change what I said about myself and what I said about my work, and I started to believe that, you know, God's hand was upon me and my work, and that, you know, it is blessed, and that I am favored, and I am his daughter, and that he does have blessings for me, and he does have a plan for me. You know, he showed up and he presented an opportunity where my work could be viewed by thousands of people, you know, just to show me that, hey kid, I got you. Because we all know that faith is a very powerful thing. You know, the words that we say, they matter. The things that we believe about ourselves and are about the plans that God has for us, you know, that matters. You know, as it says in Mark chapter 11, verse 23, for verily I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatever he saith. The words that you say, the words that you believe, they change things. And those changes can be on a grand epic scale, or they could be just the things that you believe about yourself. For example, I am not always the best person in social situations. I am fully aware of that fact, I am working on that fact, and I'm trying to make that fact fiction. You know, growing up with a lot of siblings, there were a lot of people that were older than me that had a lot more important things to say, and so I tend to sit back and listen to other people, and when people expect me to speak or, you know, ask me to speak about things, I usually go like this. Huh? Me? You sure? And I don't always know which type of social cues are acceptable because I usually don't know what to do with my hands when I talk, and so they fling around a lot and they do a lot of weird things and they contract and do this sort of thing a lot all the time, and I stop in the middle of sentences, or in certain times I just speak really fast. And so people like to say that I am awkward, which very well may be true, but I find that the more that I tell people or say that, hey, I'm awkward, the more awkward I feel. You know, the more I feel like I can't interact correctly or just in general in any type of social situation, because it's like, oh, I'm awkward, I don't know how to associate with people, and so then I start having anxiety because it's like, people. Or when I start to believe that, you know, I can't do something and then I end up not being able to do that thing, it's like, ha, I was right all along. Or maybe I was actually wrong from the start and I had, you know, doubt the size of a mustard seed and I actually made that thing come to pass. I don't know. But the more I believe that I am incapable of correctly or in generally interacting with people, the more I am incapable. The more I believe like, hey, it doesn't matter if my hands move weird or if I do weird things with my neck sometimes, or if, you know, I contract the upper part of my body and when I'm trying to express a point. All that doesn't matter because, you know, I'm an individual, and if people find me cute or awkwardly charming, then hey, that is Tina, and that is quite alright with me. And if people think I'm weird or annoying or don't want to associate with me, well then, okay. I still know that I am capable of having a conversation. I am capable of carrying myself like a well-behaved young woman. If you believe something that's not true about me, that's your problem, not mine. But it is so completely important for us to grab hold, not actually grab hold, but, you know, mentally grab hold of the things that we say, because the words that you say can heal or they can destroy. Whether those are just your chances with people, your chances with God, or your chance to grow. Your words have power. Your words can change things. What you say and what you believe does affect this physical world. Well, I hope you all have enjoyed this week's episode. I hope to see you next week. Well, not actually see you because I'm looking at a camera and not at your face. That'd be creepy. Until next time, I'm Tina Barr and I'm Geeked for Jesus.
You are Dragonborn.